kick it off? What you feel?
You know what I'm saying? Once again, you know what I'm saying? We back at it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't Glenn Burnie this year.
Yeah, Glenn Burnie today.
Today. This year. You gotta say this year.
2019, finally back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been way too long. We've been wanting to do this. We're gonna get this right and get the schedules and get this consistent. And I think we just kick it off with like what we want to do with it.
Absolutely. So I mean, for those of you who don't know about On the Ride Up, let me go ahead and break it down. You know what I'm saying? It's been me and Brian, you know what I'm saying? But initially started, you know what I'm saying, doing it in the car, doing the podcast.
Outside.
Doing the podcast. talking sports in the car while we were riding. Yes. And then we talk about anything, so we don't have, even though the majority of our topics are sports related, we talk about anything. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about Trump. We can talk about, you know what I'm saying, cinema. We can talk about school systems. We can talk about whatever we want. We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah. What we want to do with this podcast is like just like sports first, and then branch off into whatever we want. Like we both have different interests, widely various interests and shit. So it's, you know, we're gonna just see where it leads us. You know what I mean? But we can start off with a topic today. You know what I mean?
So if you follow us already, you already know that we do fantasy football heavy every year. The 50-yard seat club.
This Bama wanna put the draft day at 7 o'clock on a Thursday. Like when we started doing that,
We've had it on Thursday before.
On Thursday?
Yeah, we've had it on a Wednesday before.
Okay.
We've
had it during the week.
Yeah, we've had it during the week.
Just coincided with a.
But technology allowed to do that this year. So this year we're gonna finally have it live. So we're gonna have a recorded live, so people who aren't in the building can still be part of the draft and chime in. So that's the good thing about it. We're gonna do an IG live for it. You know what I'm saying? So come on in here, B.
You got a guest.
So we never had a guest on the Ride Up in person. Today we got a guest.
Yeah.
We got Big Bro in studio with us.
Shoot.
Surprise to me too. Hey, Big Bro, what's good with you, man?
I'm chilling. What's happening with y'all?
Yeah, man, we talking about fantasy football.
League,
start. Yeah, league about to start next week, and you know what I mean. Just who's your sleepers or whatever.
So when our league,
he's not going to divulge his sleepers.
No. So in our league, we do a keeper league, PPR keeper league, and this year pretty much everybody's been kept as a running back. Alvin Kamara's off the books. David Johnson's off the books. Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott is
still in Mexico.
Joe hasn't decided whether or not he's gonna keep Ezekiel Elliott yet. If he's smart,
that's what I was going. That was y'all talking about sleeping stuff. I just wanted to interject because we're like, hold up, some people still ain't. Hold up, we talking about fantasy football. Some people still ain't like. They're still fooling around.
Yeah.
Somewhere nowhere near the team. So I just was wondering.
Yeah. So
if
see, the thing about it is like running backs don't need to do preseason anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to.
But do you choose them?
The I don't know. That's why Joe hasn't decided yet. He has until the date of the draft.
Okay.
So
in our league, you either keep a guy or lose your first. You can either, if you keep a guy, you lose your first pick, your first round pick. So that's a big decision right there. Like if Ezekiel Elliott's gonna play or not, or you're gonna lose your first pick.
That's a hard one.
That's life.
So for me, like I had last year, I had David Johnson and Melvin Gordon on my team, right? But I went into last year with David Johnson as my keeper. So I kept David Johnson, and then I still got Melvin Gordon. So I have to do it again. I have to keep David Johnson and then land another running back, because in fantasy football, if you don't have running backs, you don't win.
No.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's the foundation.
Simple as that. If you don't have running backs, like
So,
In PPR,
I was-
in PPR, you like I like having a quarterback that can run, that can score, you know what I mean, with his feet. But running backs is the foundation.
So when it first started, when fantasy was at its infancy, man, you could have a quarterback be your number one, and then you start learning like you got to have running backs because you got to draft running backs early because what happens is there's only but so many bell cow running backs. So a lot of your running backs, they have hit or miss weeks where it's like maybe they got 20 carries this time or maybe they got 10.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you went into the season thinking I got to get a starting running back, and you drafted Freeman from Atlanta, but then the second the season started, you find out that he's splitting the backfield, and it's like oh man, so Freeman and Coleman split the backfield, so it's like who you picking? So it's like the only thing you can really do is get lucky. Maybe you get both of them. And tread water with having both of them starting. One is the flex, one is the actual starting running back, and then hitting that off. Or you just I'm saying roll the dice and choose which one you think is going to have a better game.
Whatever gets Sunday.
You know, so it's like for me, I try to get 2 starting running backs because you just don't know. You just don't know. So my keeper is David Johnson. I think B, you keeping Saquon.
I got Saquon.
Right.
Right.
So it's like you are like I can look at some people's rosters in my fantasy league and know who they're gonna keep. Just based on like okay, who do they have a bell cow running back? Do they have a passing game? What type of team they got? Do they have? Okay, this person will probably keep this person. So I was definitely gonna keep David Johnson. I actually was going to keep David Johnson even if Melvin Gordon hadn't held out because I know that they have a new coach, a rookie quarterback.
Right.
They're going to have to because David Johnson played on a trash team last year and still was a low-end number 1 running back performance-wise. So I'm like, it's no, and he came in the season banged up. I'm like, yeah, he's going to be good. He's going to be good.
David Johnson. I like David Johnson. I had him in his rookie season. I picked him up, and
he got hurt though, didn't he?
Yeah, he got hurt.
And that's how I got him because he got hurt. You let him go, and I picked him up because I knew I wasn't going to win with him, so I kept him just so I could make him my keeper the next year.
So yeah, he came up off me. That's it. It happens.
That's okay.
I've done it to people. He's really a deal, you know what I mean, waiver wire guy. So like drafting ain't really, even if he drafts good, like you still gotta watch out for him.
It's hard being a commissioner and be on top of stuff because like for me, I'm a full-time manager, you know, and I'm a commissioner, so I'm always trying to look at certain things. I get beat to the punch, and the problem is when you have somebody who, like me, I'll have a night job. So that means I'm doing what? I'm sleeping in the morning. So the people who usually do the best job on the waiver wires are, let's say, Terry and Rick, because they have early morning jobs. They got them up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so they already up.
Yep.
And by the time they can catch people on the waiver wire like that, you know, so it works in their favor. So I was
fortunately for us, Rick and Terry don't draft well.
Terry does okay.
Terry does okay.
Rick is a Giants homer, so Rick always picks a lot of Giants. But the thing about it is,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, especially since the only Giant worth drafting.
Yeah. So
is on the books.
Right. Like, well, I mean, I think I would throw out.
He drafted their kicker one year. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, Rick.
That's
we appreciate you, Rick. You know what I mean? Putting 100 up every year. You know.
He actually won last year though.
Yeah, Rick. He
actually won.
That is.
But
yeah.
Rick won with luck because
I wasn't really.
I was doing my thing, but what happened was, I had Kareem Hunt.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
punch kids in the chest.
I had Kareem Hunt, so I lost Kareem Hunt at the end of the season. I had a couple people who were like killing it for me, go down. Melvin Gordon
you had a lot of
was
injuries.
gone for 4 games. So I'm like, so I struggled to in the playoffs. But during the regular season, I was probably at the number 1 spot for a good 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
And that was my longest. That was probably my longest run at number 1 at any given time I could think of. So I'm like,
See, I'm always trash because I'll do all right during the regular season. Fall
See,
apart for me.
So one thing about fantasy football that you learn, and like unless you are like playing with a bunch of other people who've never done it before, or you get lucky. If you really have to look at who you drafting and when they, like another thing, like when they have their buys is key, because you don't want to like for me, I like pairing people, so I like to get the quarterback and the wide receiver. The problem with that is, if like when I was first doing it, I wasn't thinking like, what about when that buy comes? So I would lose 2. Like I had,
exactly.
I'm saying, like for instance, I had Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. That's a great combo right there, right? But since I'm a veteran, I know that's a quarterback and a wide receiver that I'm going to have to fill in for when the time comes, right?
Right.
The good thing about it is nobody really likes Kirk Cousins, so I didn't have to. Seriously, people don't like Kirk Cousins, but they get too emotionally invested in who they like versus who's going to perform.
Right.
So I got Kirk Cousins in like the 10th round, and he was a top performing quarterback for the majority of the year, right? So I had him paired, and then I can't even remember the quarterback I got on the back end.
Wait, we talking about last year, but I want to talk about this year. Nobody kept Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not sure. I'm
Yikes.
not sure. But I was gonna bring that up.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying that they like said they wouldn't draft them high.
Really?
Yeah, they said they wouldn't draft them high. A lot of people.
What, a slump? They're looking at a
Not necessarily a slump. It's just number one, it's hard to reproduce that type of season they did. That's one.
Okay.
And 2, because your strip of schedule changes.
Right.
And 2, Kareem Hunt was a big part of that offense last year.
That's also true, yeah.
And they took you sort of saw that they so they felt it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I think Tyreek Hill is a top 5 wide receiver in the league. Just doesn't get the respect that he deserves because he didn't get suspended though.
Yeah, enough.
So I mean, why wouldn't you? So I don't know if I would like Mahomes. You got to pick the MVP. This is on general principle. If you're pulling a quarterback, you take him.
I'm like, when you said that, I was like, I'm not in a league this year. So when
Fantasy
you said
football,
that just now,
Fantasy
like,
Football Pros, Sporting News, CBS Sports, all 3 of them were saying that they wouldn't take him. They're not saying don't draft him.
Yeah.
They're just saying like out of the first. I think the majority of people said Andy Luck would be the first quarterback they take.
I still don't like Andy Luck.
I don't know. I feel like he's been slept on then.
Well, that was also before he had that ankle injury that's keeping him out. That might keep him out.
Yeah, I'm just even without that, I wouldn't. I'd be scared of Andy Luck.
Since we're talking NFL, great segue, right?
It was good.
Roc Nation.
Oh, hey.
NFL. What's your?
Okay.
Talk to me. What's your feel?
Oh man, Jay-Z announced that him and the NFL are partnering up and trying to engage in social justice programs as well as doing entertainment. I guess maybe involvement in the Super Bowl halftime shows, maybe Pro Bowl, whatever else they got going on during halftimes, and it's interesting. I'm of 2 minds. It's way too early to tell what Jay-Z's doing. That's one thing. And that he always has a plan inside of a plan. So from the outside looking in, it looks like you've given a shield to the NFL. Your blackness, they're using your blackness as a shield.
But I'm pretty sure he's aware of that.
I do too. But does that mean anything? Because they're the $1 billion giant.
Yeah.
He's the $1 billion, entertainer.
So before I dive into this, I'm gonna present this question to Will. What do you feel will come out of the Jay-Z marriage, and just your perspective on it?
I'm thinking, I trust Jay-Z. I'm not sure exactly why everybody's killing him, because there seems to be a lot of people killing him for doing this deal. But if you look at where we're at right now today, you got Cap has already taken the money from. So I'm pretty sure Cap had a rationale. So why would we? Because Cap was leading. So if Cap took money, I don't think Cap is sitting back there thinking something like, "Oh, bet this little bit of change." He's not like that. He's thinking like, "Okay, bet I can use this money for X, Y, Z."
Okay.
They must have said, in whatever terms they said, something that he liked that he could roll with. I don't think he's that stupid. So if he's not stupid, then I don't figure Jay-Z to be stupid. He follows up with, well, Cap has already made his little move. Now it's time that other people can make a move. I'm thinking like Brian said, that there's a plan within a plan. So I don't know how we're killing them until we see a little bit more. I feel like black people we need to understand, to fix things we actually have to make moves.
So I want to piggyback off of that, because there's several things that I have issues with. One, when it was first announced that Jay-Z had partnered with the NFL, it was all praise.
Yeah.
It wasn't until a few days later at the game or when he was hanging with Goodell, it's where it's like, and he made the statement that we're beyond kneeling. And my problem with that is, it's like, we can't be both smart and stupid at the same time. It's like, 1 minute you want to be smart. A smart person looks deeper than the surface.
Exactly.
A person that lacks intelligence is just takes what you give them as face value and runs with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like, okay, Jay-Z said we're beyond kneeling. Let's get into more actionable items. All they heard was, what? We ain't kneeling no more? Like what are we talking about? So 1 second. So what happens is, it's like, oh, we got a sound bite that we can use as divisive.
Exactly.
And I feel like there are certain people who, and I've said this on different platforms, that one person in particular, I'm not going to say his name because he's irrelevant to me, but there's one particular person who has a voice
I know you're
that the second, anytime there's anything negative Jay-Z news, he jumps on it. He jumps on it. Because people don't remember, this person, forget it. Funk Flex has been beefing.
I didn't. I thought you was going somewhere else.
Funk
Flex
has been beefing with Jay-Z for a long
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
Like he's tried to expose Jay-Z for a long time, and he echoes the sentiment of,
he really is irrelevant though. He doesn't really matter. Like,
but he echoes the sentiment of some people who sort of have a problem with Jay-Z's success.
The tunnel's closed, brother.
Because what's happening is,
I don't hate Flex, but like,
what's happening is, while Jay-Z has ascended, people who thought that, oh, because you're ascending, I should ascend too. He sort of shed them. He didn't do them wrong. If you feel like, okay, I'm shaving off dead weight. If you don't want to be shaved off dead weight, don't be dead weight.
Right.
Dame Dash, you were dead weight. You got, you know what I'm saying? Funk Flex, you are an irrelevant DJ personality. You know what I'm saying? There's so many. There was a time when you were like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, a gatekeeper.
You're no longer the gatekeeper. You may still you still have enough power to get somebody on. You may even be able to slow somebody's money up. But there are so many ways around you that you should stop at this point.
And Funk Flex, bro. Use that power to put people on. Stop using your power to try to get this 1 minute soundbite, this 1 minute.
Well, he has no choice
rival,
because that's how you keep a check coming from his company. But he does some good stuff. He does some stuff. I'm not going to act like Funk doesn't try to put some people on.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Hove, because like you can't get the actual items happening day one. So one, like you said, I want to see what the game plan is.
Exactly.
What are you planning on doing? Two, I don't understand. I don't understand how is Kaepernick kneeling when he was kneeling? He had a job, right?
Yeah.
Because he was kneeling about social injustice.
Yes, exactly.
He was kneeling while he had a job on the field.
He don't
right?
have the job.
So how
Like,
is it that kneeling is now? Oh, it's about Kaepernick not having a job. That's not what the kneeling was about.
It wasn't kneeling.
So
exactly. That's what's confusing.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I'm not saying that Cap not having a job isn't connected to the kneeling. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the protest of kneeling was about social injustice.
Right.
So in the sense, Jay-Z isn't wrong in the sense where he said we're beyond kneeling when it comes to social injustice.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm like, come on, guys. Jay-Z isn't Kaepernick's agent. It's not Jay-Z's job
I think people
to get Kaepernick a lookout.
I think the way he said it is easily to misinterpret what beyond kneeling means. He doesn't mean we're beyond protesting. What he means is that specific protest has had a time. We need to have an action behind that specific protest. That doesn't mean another protest doesn't come up, maybe kneeling again if more people jump behind it, because not enough people jump behind it.
He also didn't say don't kneel anymore. He didn't say stop kneeling. He just said we're beyond kneeling.
But the problem with it comes with the actual question.
Okay.
What that was asked. He was asked, what did he think about kneeling? He was asked, would you kneel? So he then said, we're beyond kneeling. Not to say that statement wasn't misinterpreted. It was. And used as a hammer against his head. Okay, so that goes without saying. What happens also then is that statement is used against Kaepernick and the players in the league, and that's why Eric Reed and Kenny Stills had a problem with it.
That's respect. I can respect that position.
I agree with that, but the only thing is, it's just the way. It's because he said it in a manner which was easily flippable. Like you can take that what he said and flip it real easy. He could have said that same sentence, that same sentiment, and said it in a manner which. But let's be honest. Sometimes you're talking.
Yeah,
it's hard to talk, and unless you have something prepared, it's exactly prepared to say.
So you think it was caught off guard?
In a manner of speaking, or at least he had enough time to think about like we're beyond kneeling, but not enough time to explain what that means, so that we can't, so that people don't misinterpret.
I feel like if you have the thought process to say, okay, actionable items, then there should have been some talking points that you can have at least one actionable item to talk about.
That's my other main problem.
Or redirect the question. Right. When they asked the question about kneeling, instead of word kneeling, you should have just went into mentioning actionable items.
Like kneeling,
because that's like you said, that's a very political thing to say.
He should have
actionable items.
He should have like, listen, the kneeling thing got us to this point, and now we are doing XYZ. He didn't say kneeling was over. He doesn't have to say he said kneeling got us to this point. But see, this is me quarterbacking it after the fact. That's easy to see what he said and see the reaction and then make you see what I'm saying, and
I wanted to see the presser.
Right.
And I wanted to see the press conference, and the press conference let me down. Because there was no follow-up, there's no page that says we're doing this
because they got what they wanted.
We got Jay-Z's face on this big hot topic. So that's my issue. Like he got I don't want to say he got played, but it got played.
Yeah. But from Jay-Z's perspective, and I'm sure this is what Jay-Z's thinking, no matter what he comes out and says, something is going to get flipped. That's going to become the narrative, because that's what we do. We go with the sexy, hate, kill them, whatever nonsense you can come up with.
Because that's the fun thing. That's the fun thing to do. It's
and
like,
then boom.
Now I have something to talk about on Facebook today rather than post memes.
Exactly.
I can talk about Jay-Z and say how he looks like Troy Aikman a million times. Like it's a new meme. Like
but see, then you could take that, and then we're just going to flip whatever. We're going to take whatever part of what he says. We're going to flip it. We're going to use it against them, and then keep that narrative going way longer than the positive narrative, instead of what we should be doing is looking at the positive. Oh man, if Jay-Z's in there, that means we got somebody in there who's on our side.
Were you guys able to see Kaepernick's tweet?
Which one? The countdown to the anniversary?
No, the tweet about just sort of like saluting the guys who were still kneeling.
No,
so he had a tweet. I'm not quoting him actually, but he pretty much said he gave a shout out to like Eric Reed and those guys who are still kneeling for the cause. And my thing is, I found it funny because for pretty much since he's been out of the league, he said nothing. When we're like trying to figure out what's going on, like is he really getting offers? Is he turning them down? What's the deal? And he's not commenting at all. So like I feel like everything is speculation with this guy. Yeah. So when they say, oh, Jay-Z had to talk to Kaepernick, okay, I mean, maybe the dude doesn't talk a lot. I don't know. I mean, what does that mean?
I think they have talked. So I'm
well, his girlfriend said they didn't talk.
No, they didn't talk about that. I'm sure they've talked. He's worn his jersey. I'm sure they've talked. He's a billionaire with somebody that's doing a bunch of stuff across the nation over the last 2 years. They've talked.
Okay.
My problem is not with Kaepernick. I have a problem with Kaepernick not talking. My problem was with everybody who are the Jason Woodlock and his sons out here trying to exploit him not talking. Kaepernick is to be protected at all costs, in my opinion.
I agree.
He did something for all of us, and he suffered the major blowback for it. Just like the Olympians that raised their fists. Out of protest, just like a man that was the baseball free agent. They did something and caught all of the blowback. That should not be assailed at any point in time.
Yeah.
Especially not to protect Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z is a billionaire at the end of the day. He can do whatever he wants and he does not need anybody's protection. He does not need anybody to stick up for him. The only reason you guys are using Jay-Z as this blunt instrument is because you guys are shucking and jiving for corporations that pay you money to protect you and protect the white man's feelings about certain things. That's it. And that's what I have a problem with. I have a major problem with that.
So I think it'll all come down to what those actual items are. What'll happen in the future. I think that's going to be the end game.
Exactly. So I'm not going to kill him. I'm not killing Cap. I'm not killing anybody until I see something fail.
So it's funny
and even then, I'm not going to kill him.
It's funny that I said end game.
He's about to be Segway King out
there. I see him.
So talk about Jay-Z and NFL. We got a new
big $1 billion
new beast. Sony versus Marvel.
Huh? Funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that situation right now. I want my man Spider-Man in there, but
I mean, they sort of have to. What do you? Okay, are you so? From what I've read so far is that Marvel wanted to go back to the table, negotiate with Sony.
They want more money.
Well, they not only want a 50 split on the profit, but they also wanted to do a 50% cost on production too. So early reports saw that they just wanted more money from.
I mean,
Post.
It's not just they're
getting a crappy deal one way or the other. Right. Because let's see, if you have Spider-Man, one person, in a Marvel movie with the Avengers, you can make the Avengers work without Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you can. You don't want to.
Listen, let's be honest. It's Marvel. They have how many writers? How many creators? They could create a kid, right? That is Spider-Man, some kind of Spider-Man acknowledge. It's like some kind of dude who would
a Bayou City Spider.
Yeah, they would kind of call him Spider-Man. They could call him. What was the silly name in the movie? Monkey.
Whatever.
Night Monkey.
Man,
But
Sony,
you wouldn't call them something ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Like, come
Sony
on.
had
They
Marvel
can
and
take your
caught
place.
over IP in a heartbeat.
Look,
Yep.
like leaving
That'd be
Deadpool's a
awesome.
Deadpool.
Awesome.
Who was what's the girl's name? The chick in the Deadpool.
Oh wow!
They made her
I can't
up.
remember her name.
Yo,
Negasonic.
yeah,
Yeah.
Nigga Scientist Warhead. Yo, that's not
But-
not what she is in the comic book at all.
Yeah, they-
you know what
they-
they did?
they-
They created what they
Deadpool
wanted.
can get away with that though.
But they created what they wanted to for the movie, right?
But-
and it worked.
because Deadpool
but-
can get away with that.
But guess who I trust to do that? Like you got Spider-Man.
Kevin Feige.
I trust him and the whole Marvel squad to be like,
So-
you know what else we got over here? Because they were working with B-listers anyways. You don't think they can take some other B-lister and turn him into a new Spider-Man?
So what's really
Like
happening?
Sony,
What's
you're
really
messing
happening
yourself
is
up.
Sony is in love with Kevin Feige. That's what's really happening.
Mhm.
Sony's in love with Kevin Feige, right?
And
Mhm.
Disney don't want to
And-
loan Kevin Feige out on
Yeah, without getting some
Because
money.
because they're the
I'm
ones.
not doing it.
They're because Disney's the one paying Kevin Feige to
Right.
go work with Sony.
Right.
Sony's not footing the bill for Kevin Feige, so then it's like, why are we paying our top guy?
And I can see.
So they're like, so they announced that they got to pull him back off of the Spider-Man aspect of the universe. So Sony's like, oh word.
And we got it. It's a wait and see thing. Like I don't know how they're gonna do the next two because Tom Holland is signed for two movies.
Yep.
The director, interestingly enough, is not. So for that was with I think they can be interchangeable. That's not a big a deal. But the Kevin Feige is, and him being in the MCU is, and now that they've established it so far, it is to go backwards is I think is a mistake by Sony.
Yeah.
And
Majorly.
they don't have enough properties and they don't make enough money with their other properties to say, yeah, we can do this without you, Marvel. Like so I would in my opinion, we can get into the is Disney is turning into some type of IP monopoly and all this other stuff, but
I mean,
at this, for me, in my entertainment dollar, I want to see Spider-Man in an MCU movie. Sony get it done, and let's not talk about this no more.
Right.
yeah, like you both make money.
I mean,
Stop
so,
it.
so they're
You-
both, but what you mentioned is where Sony don't really have a lot of others to look to.
Yeah,
So they sort of have to make sure that Spider-Man, the lead of their brand, is taken care of.
Yeah.
On the
But
flip
everybody
side,
knows that. You can
Marvel
come-
sort of needs. They sort of and they put themselves in a situation where they sort of need Spider-Man
A
right
little
at least
bit.
right now.
A little
They
bit.
would need Spider-Man and
least
then
to
have to pivot.
Yeah, they
because
have
of
to
the I mean we got into this MCU in love with Tony Stark and what Robert Downey Jr. meant to the universe.
Mhm.
So now you don't have Tony.
You don't have Chris Evans.
And you don't have Chris Evans. So you sort of have to hold on to this because you don't know if these other guys can lead the charge.
Can Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther 1 a moment or was it something that they can build on?
Exactly.
Was Captain Marvel a moment or something that they can build on? We don't. Ant-Man is an ancillary character. He's tertiary. He's background guy. They don't even know if he's gonna get the third movie. So yes, you do definitely at this point need Spider-Man. I don't think they were anticipating them not moving forward without him. I think they felt they had enough leverage to ask Sony for whatever they wanted, and Sony said nah. But in my opinion, Sony is in a bad spot because the vultures are circling. Apple's out there wanting IP. And if you're Sony, it needs IP, needs Apple TV to pop off. Shoot, Netflix could get in that game. So
Sure.
Sony Pictures.
If I'm Netflix, I'd jump. I mean,
Netflix fumbled though.
Netflix
fumbled.
needs a win. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, because right now they
had
tread water.
one. They had a win.
no, they didn't have a win. They were out in front. They were ahead of the curve. It's now everybody's caught up with their massive IP,
which was going to happen no matter what, except for if you can turn around and buy some IP, which they have a little bit.
They've been
building. I'm not gonna, because they're not dead in the water or anything. They're gonna. I think they'll make it. But a Sony?
Well, the good thing about
that's a win.
My whole point is, if Sony Pictures was to be sold or merged, Spider-Man goes back to Disney. So they don't have as much leverage as you would think. So that's my whole point. It's they need to play ball, basically.
And they need.
I'm hoping that it'll all work out because we sort of need it because I feel like it's too much up in the air.
I think
it's too much up in the air.
Because they're transitioning already.
I mean, everybody's excited about Phase 4 and how they rolled it all out. I'm paint me skeptical because
there's only two things on it that I want to.
Number one, I'm not thrilled about. You know what I'm saying? The TV shows. Yeah, I want movies.
Listen, I love the TV shows.
WandaVision.
Okay, I hate that name.
Y'all ready for WandaVision?
The name is trash. But
WandaVision? That's so stupid.
It sounds. Listen. I think it might be a good show, but the naming made it sound like.
No, it's not going to be a good show. It's
going
to be a show about Vision
and Wanda, who were not like exciting. I get you. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Vision.
I'm not trying
Listen,
I'm not arguing with
let's
you saying.
Let's keep it 100. Who liked Vision in the comic books? Nobody was like, "Oh, Vision."
I like his power set.
The only thing we liked about Vision was playing the Avengers on the arcade.
Yeah, that's why.
That's it.
No, but I'm saying like in the comic books, that's why I like Vision. Cause I knew he could come. Like when they say go, he's going to crush some people. Outside of, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing with the show.
WandaVision.
Hey, look.
So you get WandaVision, and you get
Black Widow. We're doing,
Which listen, I know he was down. I know you're down on it.
The Falcon as Captain America.
I like that too.
Do you?
I love that. I want to see what that looks like.
I love that. I read the comic book.
Yeah,
as a TV show.
No, I've read the comic book.
As a TV show.
I'd rather it be a TV show than a movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather see the Falcon as Captain America because you can
it's
flesh that out over 6 hours instead of 2.5.
It's going to stretch it out.
And then you can end that run.
So are they doing it? Are they doing it like? Is Disney Plus planning on doing it like Netflix, where Netflix just lets you watch it all binge?
We don't know. I think that's a good question.
That's still up in the air.
So if I can binge it, I'm good. That's one thing I love about Netflix. Like, yo, I want it when I start watching The Punisher. I wanted to watch it all, like right there. That first season of Luke Cage, I wanted to watch it all.
Yeah, well, see, listen. If it turned around and they say, well, we're going to do it 1 hour every week for 6 weeks. Guess what? I'm going to wait till week 6.
You're not going to wait.
I'm waiting till week 6.
No, definitely not going to wait.
Okay, not for Captain America, but for like the other TV shows, I'm going to wait till I'm going to wait till week 6. I'm going to binge it. I'm going to like trash
when
or
Disney
pass.
Plus finally rolls out. I'm like,
I like the idea.
The good thing about Netflix is because people weren't so sure on Netflix. Not everybody had Netflix at the same time, so it's like they build their subscribers.
Oh yeah. No.
When Disney Plus rolls out, everybody's going to jump on it, and it makes me think about. Remember when Jay-Z dropped Magna Carta Holy Grail?
Yeah, that's almost going to crash.
And you had to download it.
I did that.
We all tried to do it.
That was not a good process.
Exactly. So I think about that when I think like, yo, because Disney Plus is not just going to be the MCU fan. It's going to be everything Disney. Yeah. And everybody's going, because parents are going to have it for their 5-year-olds and 2-year-olds to watch 100%. Other stuff on Disney.
100%.
Right? And all the content that they're pulling.
Star Wars.
All the content they're pulling from these other platforms so that they can put it on.
Hold up. Ain't the price? What's the price?
It's $12.99 bundled with Hulu and Nat Geo.
So.
They're going to stomp.
But see, my thing is this, though. Yes, I want to see I'm gonna watch WandaVision. I'm gonna watch it. I don't want to, but I have to watch it.
It's gonna lead into the
right? I gotta watch it.
It's kind of hard to.
But my thing is, what else am I getting? Because I feel like I feel like Daredevil Jessica Jones, the Defenders.
Let's not talk about the Netflix.
Wait. I like those shows.
No, that makes me sad that they not.
So my thing is, if you pulled it from Netflix to not bring it on Disney Plus, then I have a problem with you. Because if that's the case, then you could have just kept making money and left it on Netflix.
I think.
But when you say cancel, that
means
Are you rebooting it 2 years later after you finally rolled it out? You should have kept it going.
I don't know. There's a bunch. Yes, they should have kept going on Netflix. I don't know if they're going to plan.
Give us the Punishers and the Defenders.
From what I understand is that they're planning on rebooting all of it on Hulu.
On Hulu
and FX. So at some point, Netflix has an 18-month no compete clause, so they can't use the same characters for 18 months. So they can't use Daredevil. That's all coming up soon. So like as it rolls out, like Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and Luke
So is
Cage.
that why they canceled it when they canceled it? Just so they can try to cut it to that 18 months?
Yeah. I think
okay.
that
makes sense. That makes
sense. I didn't even think about it, but yeah.
So they plan on they plan on using the characters again. My problem is you set up this world that I fell in love with, and now you're gonna use it. You're gonna change the world. I think. I mean, we'll see how it actually unfolds. But like, I want to see more Daredevil, Charlie Cox Daredevil. Part.
Yeah.
I don't want to see another Daredevil, dog.
I think
because I want another Punisher. For real.
Yeah, I don't want another Punisher either.
Because I really don't want another
I'm
Punisher.
a little. Why I think that's one thing about the MCU. Their selection of who's playing who has been so spot on. Because, I mean, we've had 4 Punishers so far?
Yeah.
We started off with Dolph Lundgren.
Way back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Thomas Jane.
Not terrible.
What's solid?
Yeah, Thomas Jane wasn't bad.
The
movie wasn't great. But
the movie was bad. The Thomas Jane, he was fine. Actually, wouldn't mind seeing him. Like, I wouldn't have minded seeing them try to figure something out, but that obviously that didn't work, but whatever.
And I liked them, so they weren't bad.
No.
They weren't bad. So to nail it like they nailed it with him,
John Bernthal is a great idea.
But they also did a good job with the writing because they nailed.
They kept it. It's grit. Ain't nothing but grit.
That punch of Daredevil versus Punisher to set him up in his character.
Yes.
Yo, they had me.
I felt like the second half of the Daredevil season was the Punisher season.
Yeah,
it was all Punisher, right?
It was essentially, that was his.
Yeah, the first part was Daredevil versus Punisher. The second part was Punisher.
Zero.
And the third part was
Punisher
and
Daredevil. It was Punisher Zero.
Yeah,
so
and it was season 2 was.
So I feel like the casting has been spot on, but I feel like the downfall of Luke Cage was killing.
Killing
they messed up.
Mahershala.
Yeah,
How did they not know that was a bad idea?
Because they killed so many elements. It's not just him. I feel like when we love our action heroes, big bad, getting the ladies and killing and beating people up. Till it got too soap opera-y.
Yeah.
It was just a soap opera after that.
Is that
And then he wasn't hitting chicks. It's like the machismo was gone.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's like you got a big strong bald dude. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of deadpan. He's and Mike Coulter's cool, but
he did okay. He was
he wasn't like you don't have to be the Luke Cage. The comic books are problematic. I'm just say that the origin, all that. If you go back and read those 70s comics, probably not a good idea to make that Luke Cage into 2019, 2018. But
unless he's getting chicks like he's supposed to.
Yeah, but you can always do that. Like,
he didn't have to.
They didn't. It didn't have to be.
Well, like within the first scene,
him smashing me.
He bagged the first out the break.
Right?
But, that was the best ever.
Yeah, my thing. The thing is, they had something that was so. Even Jessica Jones, they had me like her.
Great casting, man.
I didn't really want to watch. I mean,
I
wanted to watch it because
people said that. They just weren't. I
didn't want to see a series. I kind of wanted to see how they would do her because the comic book sounded like it was cool. But
this is funny to me because it's like because they didn't put the muscle in it buying into this female superhero. But now there's a whole movement behind Captain Marvel. It's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that Thanos, the Mad Titan, who manhandled the Hulk, gotta take a handedly given L to Captain Marvel?
I mean, they set her up that she's supposed to be the strongest in the series.
Scarlet Witch almost beat him too. Like,
I mean, with the top 4 people are in their moments.
She's Wanda from now on.
Technically speaking,
Miss Vision.
The top 4 people are strong enough to go against Thanos, which people don't realize what the top 4 strongest people are, which is Thor, Hulk. But see, people don't realize Wanda with the power set that she has, and the way they gave powers to, well, even in the comic books, the way Captain Marvel is, they are up there. So they technically speaking should be able to handle themselves. I don't like how they did it. I'm not going to argue with. They could have did it better. They could have sold it. You're trying to put somebody over like wrestling. You got to do it better.
Exactly what it was. It was a put over.
You got to do it better.
I mean, you listen.
You got to sell it.
For movies, you got to sell it better.
She wasn't even in the movie enough to
sell it. That's the problem.
If you want to tell me that Captain Marvel is stronger than all of them, that's fine. But we're not just talking about being able to be strong. The Hulk is strong, and I think he's on the strength level as Thanos, but he's not a good fighter.
Right.
Thanos is a better fighter than him. So even if you're strong, you still gotta be able to fight. So you mean to tell me that she's stronger and she's a better fighter?
You mean
to tell me she's a better fighter one-on-one with Thanos than Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Thor?
I think they did try to set that up in the solo
in her movie. That's what I was going to say.
She's part of the Special Elite Force, and that's what they did. They trained and fought her.
Personally, don't think she's.
No, did they get that over as well? Probably not. I don't think they got her over that way.
They didn't do it. Even her solo movie. Her movie was cool.
It was fine.
I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! It was a nice movie. I'm happy. I'm not mad that I spent that money." It was cool. It was good. It was a decent movie, but like, was it? It wasn't
Marvel
like
or Far From Home.
Come on, it's not even close to me.
It's a fair question to me.
Oh, they're not even close to me.
I don't know. I'm a Spider-Man fan.
I'm a Spider-Man fan
I might be a little bit.
I never really hated characters.
But
I like
based on watching the origin story, I don't even like her as the best origin story that they've done. So I can't even put it with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man is one of their best movies, period. And then you
think Far From Home is one of their best movies, period?
It's in my top 5.
Really?
It's not the best, but it's
top 5. Far From Home.
It's 20. I don't know. If we should
20 of them.
I don't think we should break down.
It's hard to do a top 5 with only 20 movies. But I'm just
okay.
I
listen.
But that's how I'm able to put it.
You can spitball it right now and tell me yes or no. You think Spider-Man Far From Home is a top 5 MCU movie?
What are we putting above it besides Iron Man?
Iron Man 1,
right?
How do you start with Iron Man 1? You could go.
No, because we automatically everybody's going to put that in the top 5. I think.
So let's see.
Yeah,
that's why I'm going with. I'm going with
Iron
the automatics.
Man.
I'm not saying it's number 1. I'm saying it goes automatic.
Winter Soldier
is
Civil
automatic.
War,
automatic.
Infinity War.
I'm putting them 3 in there.
Okay.
I'm putting those 3 in there.
Infinity War.
So now it's the other 2.
I'll take
now
so many movies over Far From Home.
All right, go.
All right,
I'll take so many movies over Far From Home.
I'm not saying it ain't some other ones.
Iron Man 1.
Okay.
But that's above it. I would put that above it in the top 5. Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Thor 3.
I can put the first one. The second one, no, I can't put it above.
Really? I actually like the second one.
I like the second one. No, the first one was funny.
End Game. Infinity War. Those are all better than Far From Home.
Really?
Yes.
I think I like Spider.
Black Panther is better than Far From Home.
No, it's not.
I can't do that with End Game because I'm putting.
Black Panther got sized.
No.
Cause it was good.
No. Black Panther. Until the ending.
Sorry.
Until the ending. It was. It's
the final fight was as bad a final fight as they've ever done.
So the final fight in Far From Home was good to y'all.
No. The overall how they did the went throughout the movie. it don't have to be lackluster. It wasn't trash. And I'm sorry, the Black Panther one, they special effects, the way they chose to do that final fight between I'm talking about the Black Panther part. The rest, the overall how
Panther
they were
versus Panther.
Yeah, Panther versus Panther. No, I thought that was trash. I'm talking about the overall in fight where you have everybody involved, everybody's doing something. That was fine. The overall orchestration of it, the location they put the two guys in, the animation, that was trash.
Even
that
if it
part
was
so
Jordan
trash.
versus Chadwick, it should have looked like
it
what it looked like in Civil War.
It should have
like
looked
him
better.
Fighting in Civil War was 100,000 times
Civil
better.
War is a top 5.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, Civil War, Winter Soldier. You can go Iron Man 1, Infinity War. That's 4.
That's 4.
End Game.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
Endgame,
which I don't want to count. Endgame was it a compilation or something?
Okay, yes.
Like I don't want to count Endgame.
I'm not. No.
Like, it broke every record.
Because I'm putting it like it's so. I'm putting it. They did an excellent job. That's great. It's one of their best ones. So it's not that. The issue is the Far From Home gave me something way more different and did such an excellent job.
I like Homecoming. I like the twist in Homecoming. Like that was one of the best twists they've done in a Marvel movie.
Okay.
So you can flip either one of the Spider-Mans. One of the Spider-Mans is making it in my top 5 because in both Spider-Mans, you get the twist that you got in the first one, and even how they ran with Mysterio.
Okay.
Through that how they ran that was brilliant. How that was done.
So. For me,
that's why because it's fight. So you understand, that's fighting with Black Panther as far as what you're doing with, and that's why it makes it hard to do a top 5 because you're right. It's so short of movies.
I felt like,
but there's more movies than anybody else.
Felt like
so it's like
I felt like the big reveal in Far From Home was a letdown in a way. It was just like.
The big reveal in
it was like
Mysterio
really Wizard of Oz. It was real Wizard of Oz.
They already. I think everybody knew.
But that's
that came straight out the comic books. I think everybody.
That's
knew.
kind of Mysterio. So to me, how they got there, because I wasn't sure where they were going with Mysterio. I was like, because I know his history. So watching how they were setting it up, I was like, man, how are they? He's special effects. How do you make these special effects so vicious when people are getting dead?
And don't get me wrong, I love Far From Home. Don't think
I didn't think you weren't. Yeah, I didn't think you were.
I just don't like top 5.
It's that or the other Spider-Man. I mean, like, what do we? One of the Spider-Mans, like, okay.
What MCU movie that I think is like one of the lower tier that you like more than than some of the everybody's consensus top 5? I got mine already.
The lower tier one?
Yeah, like people always put it at the bottom because it's
for me.
But I like.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
more
the second Thor.
See, I think that movie is so important. I feel like
it
the
is
second
important,
movie
but
is so important.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's not,
right.
It's important, but it is not good.
No, I like the second movie way better than the first movie. Was too slow. It was the earthboundness was.
I wasn't a fan of the first one.
If you're going to be if you're going to be earthbound, they could
But
have did it way better. The second one is, I thought, as far as a Thor movie,
plus he looked weird in that.
Me and Brian had a conversation
it was a good Thor
about
until you get Ragnarok.
We had conversations about Thor being getting a solo movie, not in general, but at the time I feel like man, is it do you need to do it right now? And now I feel like okay, you sort of need him to be. You need to sell his personality because he's a lesser known to the masses, and I get it. But Thor wasn't really the Thor that we really love until he had to cut his head. Mm-hmm. Long haired Thor, nobody like he.
No, the issue with the long haired Thor was just those movies. It wasn't. It was that first movie.
Ragnarok is the one though. Right? That's top 5 to me. Ragnarok is top 5 to me.
That one is.
I don't have none of the Thors in my.
Ragnarok is top 5.
That's what makes it, because it's a comedy. I'm always going to kind of
that's what
bump
it is for me. I think
I'm always going to bump. That's the only reason. That's the only reason, and it's not because it's bad. Because you're talking about the first Guardians of Galaxy. It's funnier. It's the funniest of the two. It's funnier to me.
Yes.
And then you got Thor Ragnarok, and then you got the first Ant-Man. So those are the 3 funniest.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a funnier movie, Part 2 is a better movie.
Yes.
I can agree with that, but because the first
Better
one was
villain.
so much funnier.
Better villain.
I'm just kind of, I'm kind of leaning between those two.
But I would take the
funnier
first
was
one.
so strong.
I'll take the first one though.
Yeah.
My lowest tier, consensus tier, like best movie in my mind is. Nah, no, you don't.
I bet you I can tell you. You said so. You mean your bot? Oh, are you?
The bottom one that you think is good, like
better
really,
than everybody else.
Okay, so I don't know what you're gonna say because I'm thinking you're gonna say one that people like, but it's like one of your bottoms, the other way around for you.
Yeah. See this.
Let me see.
Best friend.
I don't know which way he's going.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. It can go anywhere.
I love Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh.
Okay.
I thought that one too.
I don't think people have.
But I think it's one of the lower, probably the lower ranked at the moment.
It came out right after Infinity War. People don't really care.
Okay.
Like, didn't care about it as much. That movie was.
I did like it. I liked it.
Loved
it was good.
I liked it.
I liked it.
It was
good.
good.
Like,